Start the meeting. Roll call.
Mr. Dakencall?
Here.
Mr. Spence?
Here.
Dr. Ross?
Here.
Administrator?
Present.
Mayor?
Here.
Solicitor?
Present.
Fiscal officers present. Mrs. Dameron? Here. Mr. Mattern?
Here.
Mr. Merriman?
Here. Everybody stand for a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Dakencall?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Abstain.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay. Okay, anybody appearing before council would like to come up and speak for 5 minutes? Come.
Jeanette Evans, I am on the list for tonight.
Okay, come forward, please. State your name and address.
Jeanette Evans, 375 Morningside Drive, Wintersville, Ohio.
Okay.
What I was coming to speak about was my concern as a parent at Jefferson County Christian School that there is a facility coming in potentially behind us. I've done a lot of research on it, and I was blessed to go to the commissioners' meeting this morning. And I had a PowerPoint, and a lot of it really wasn't necessary. They were very gracious. From what I understand, it doesn't sound like that facility is going to be a go anyway. So most of the things that I needed to speak about might be a moot point. I was concerned about the zoning laws and had some questions I was going to share with you, some research that I found from the district, Ohio Department of Education, a law that has been cited that pretty much shows that an opioid facility can't be less than 500 feet from a property line of a daycare center or a church or anything, and that facility is our property lines meet, essentially. So I realize that, our community does need some kind of facility like that with drug issues. Kind of curious if we've looked into anywhere else. Some things that came up is the possibility of maybe over on 43 where State Park Motors was, if that would be a possibility for something, or across from Foodland. It was the old Foodland. Jeff Tech's still Jeff Tech to me. I do have Edison down instead of JU. I have gotten that one down. But there was an old Foodland that used to be across from the State Patrol Barracks. Just some ideas. I wanted to gather. Maybe I could enlighten and hear back from you. I don't know if there's any questions or anything I could answer.
Well, Mrs. Evans, to begin with, I was very surprised to see that myself when I was notified by TV when Mr. Morelli brought it up at a
So were we.
meeting.
Yeah.
And so that was news to Wintersville. What we usually do here, if a new business comes into Wintersville, especially something of that magnitude, we usually have a public forum to get opinions from the public, see how they feel about that. It might be zoned in that area to do that, but don't necessarily mean that's the right spot for it. Mm-hmm. I'm not against mental health. Mental health is very, very important. But we haven't done any research about this company. What's their safety record? Mm-hmm. What if hurts one of them get out of there? Where do they go? Do they go to somebody's neighboring house? Do they go to a children's place? Do they go to a church right up the street? Or a Christian school right up the street? Or a dance studio right up the street? These are some of the issues that have to be talked about before we can accept that type business here freely. They, by law, they could be here. But the thing about it is, we always give our residents that's living in proximity of that an opportunity to hear their voice. Because that's very important to hear what they have to say. Because, like I said again, I don't know what their record is. I don't know where they're bringing these people in from, what part of the state, where they're coming from. You know, but they need help.
Yeah.
Trinity got a very nice facility right down there at Trinity East. You know, at some of the places you have mentioned, I don't know if that's availability or not. But again, it was never brought to this village. This company never spoke to us one time about us. Walt's in office every day, secretaries every day on the phone. They called us one time. I think that was Mr. Lucchino called and asked us about an ordinance letter. We referred him to our attorney. So we don't know more about this company. Actually, you know more about this company than we know right now. You know, as far as what they're just going to move forward or not. So I do appreciate you coming out. You know, letting us know.
We still are listed on 200 School Street is still listed on the website that it is coming soon. It lists the address and says it is a facility that's to be on its way.
Well, they have not reached out to this office yet.
That's fine.
So I just let you know that we have not been informed on what they're going to do, when they're going to do it, if they're going to do it. So again, appreciate you coming out so we can kind of get a few things cleared out.
Thank you.
Hey, Rob, real quick.
Yes.
Mrs. Evans, I've been around for like 16 years, and I know in the past, we've worked well with incoming businesses. Lifeline was one of them we worked with to bring them on in originally. Also, Sienna Woods was a big one we had to work with bringing them on in. And also parts of Meridian Green as well has their expansion. So we are very open and receptive to have new businesses on in, but we didn't know anything about this one at all. You talked about the food land. Right next door was Suburban, if you can remember that one.
I do. And down on the end was Western Auto, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you very much. We
Yes.
are open to having businesses on in here, but we've worked well with them beforehand. We just didn't know anything about this one popping up at all.
Yeah, and I had no idea
Yeah.
that you didn't.
Oh,
So that's why I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that I was receiving and understanding your position, because I had no idea where you were on it either.
well, we don't have a position because it never came to us.
Yeah.
Our position is they're still out there. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else like to come forward? Come up, Mr. Lockhart.
No, go ahead. It's fine. I didn't see you, sorry.
Good evening, Council. I'm your representative to the following agencies I'm going to discuss tonight, the meetings I attended in your behalf. The first one is BHJ meeting. They had a meeting on November the 18th with regard to activities in the area BHJ is responsible for. And there was a couple of resolutions with regard to activities going on concerning a federal mandate with regard to 5 categories of safety that's been implemented by the federal government, and the state of Ohio, West Virginia has to abide by those, and they've established areas where they're going to try and monitor the activities requested. There are fatalities, mainly in the road fatality area. That's what the states have agreed to, both states have agreed to trying to adjust to the program set up by the government. State of Ohio has indicated a 2% drop aimed at reduction in these 5 categories. Fatalities on the road, accidents on the road mainly. And the other one, state of Ohio, state of West Virginia is looking 50 to 60% drop an adjustment, but by 2030. So they're working toward implementing and analyzing those 5 categories and present it to the government down the road. The other resolutions pertain to adjustments in the transportation improvement program. I'm not going to get into that. West Virginia-wise, the main thing is the bridge down in Wellsville area is about still on guard, on par for possibly, I would say, June next year. They haven't even started on the bridge landing over the Route 7 down in Brea. They've got some of the stuff completed in West Virginia. But they're working on it. It'll get done eventually. Next is a report I have with regard to the Seven Ranges Fire District that I attended the meeting. And that also happened to be the same date, November the 18th. And there was a couple of resolutions with regard to financial adjustments and stuff like that. But the main thing is Rob Harrington brought out information with regard to his being approached by Island Creek Township, the fire group involving Pleasant Hills, Pottery Edition, themselves, with the consideration of joining the Seven Ranges Fire District. They were given detailed information as to how that should be accomplished. It has to be presented to your council for approval, like they did here. We did here in Wintersville, because of the fact there is a tax levy. It's fairly minor, but it benefits those communities with regard to transportation, and that's. When he presented the information to Island Creek with their attorney present, he felt that they possibly did not comprehend the steps that had to be taken. So it was just, they gave him the information for the purpose of discussing it amongst all of theirs. They have one little problem with regard to Pleasant Hill Fire Department. That's on 213 at around County Road 45. They haven't been responding to 911 matters that have been addressed to their specific area of responsibility, and they're having difficulty getting volunteers together for that fire department. And they therefore cannot be in a position to receive any kind of funding if in fact this thing materialized Indian Creek belonging to the Seven Ranges. So right now it's pending to see what they're going to do in the future with regard to them. Other part of it is with regard to at the rear of the fire department here in Wintersville is a large, almost 3-story structure, and that's going to be the new home of a fire training center, which Rob Harrington and people within the fire district and Wintersville Fire, they've gone through great steps to generate funds to get this thing materialized. And it turns out that they finally got a charter at the end of September, roughly. And as a result, now they have the first class that's been scheduled. They have instructors, very gifted individuals that he was able to get to come in and teach these people. And they have to receive the education to meet the compliance of, if you want to call it a fireman 101, if you want to call it that way. So that individual, once he goes through this training and that, he's accredited through the state of Ohio. And this will be a benefit to his community or her community, because there are people now signed up in this class all the way from Cleveland area. There is no similar type center, generally speaking, close to ours. That's why he implemented the effort to get this thing done. And as a result, the class is going to start. It's a minimal amount of money per individual for the receipt of this training from people that have expertise in the area. And this would allow people to go through the training to take care of fires in like an apartment setup or a three-story building, or different scenarios with regard to a fire. They're going to get trained in that area. So it's a benefit not only to our community that they'll come down here, but it's a benefit to their community in the future with regard to the benefit to their communities and the safety of those individuals. Lastly, I report on the Steel Valley Regional Transit Authority, a meeting I attended. I happen to be on the Board of Trustees for that organization in behalf and representing this village, along with Charlene Tennis. And the first step, I said, the most important thing is this, we had a concrete issue problem outside between the old building and the modular building, that the water underneath the facility, the driveway, was undermining the driveway to a point of possible real problems. Long story short, we trustees voted on getting a consultant, very reputable firm from St. Clairsville. They got together with us. We set up what we felt was necessary, set out two bids, James White Construction and Fort Steuben. James White was awarded the contract, and they're going to start the project and finish it by the end of this year. It's approximately a little over $60,000 to get this thing done, based upon the initial. They don't know what's underneath until they get there. There may be a little more, but it's going along well. Secondly, with regard to, had one terrible situation, one individual, Larry Kutry, was a member of that, a driver for that bus service for 29 years, and unfortunately he passed away quickly. And he was the oldest representative of the bus service, and he will be missed. He was a very nice guy to deal with, too. Next, I'd like to just bring to your attention the agreement between Weirton, West Virginia bus service and ours here in Ohio, Steel Valley, is still pending. A real problem developed previously. We offered services that would take the bus up to the hospital, over to their library, and then return back to our area. That would allow those people in that respective area to get on our bus and even then take it over to the mall in Robinson. Now, under the guise of the new transit system and a new routing system, and coupled with the bus service from Wheeling tied in now, there's a meeting regarding that service coming to Raylan and ours going down to Raylan, picking up the people from there, bringing them so they can go to various locations up here, and our people could go down to the St. Clairsville Mall or the other mall. I can't think of the new one offhand. Highlands. But that service started August 16. August 31st, there were 719 passengers, which is great. The service here that Steel Valley is involved in now has increased 50% this year. And I can proudly say, with regard to our people in Wintersville, we have a 110% increase from last year in utilization of the bus service, which they voted in, and apparently they're now in a position where they can go to those malls, just get on there with your $30 ticket. If you buy a pass for $30, and you could travel quite well. It's well received because of the fact 719 people jumped into the service just in a matter of 2 weeks. Even the manager was really shocked that 719 people took advantage of it. But it shows that the service overall has improved, and the potential for the future is good because there's more insight into the federal government becoming involved in the service, giving the money, providing the bus service, and mainly getting out to the rural areas to get people that have no means of getting to these hospital stores, etc. So it's working out well for our area. Other than that, I think the bus service is doing well. I'm kind of glad to be part of the service down there and representing on behalf of the village. And I think it's going to be a real asset to the future and will improve continuously.
One question for you, Lee. The bus service that you're not doing in Weirton now, is that affecting the ride from Steubenville to the Robinson Mall, or do you just bypass Weirton and go straight to the mall?
What it comes down to right now, for some reason, the people with that, they have a new manager, and the people on the bus service over there all of a sudden said, we don't want you to come into the city anymore. The only thing we do now is potentially, and we're looking at it, is to come over and get over the bridge. Just as you cross over the bridge, the first exit, you get off, you go down like to Weirton Lumber, there is a bus stop, a park and ride. They want us to go there only to pick up their people. We object to the possibility of it's not a good facility for our bus to turn around in. It's not that big. There is no lighting. There is no pavilion for people to wait for a bus, even though they would have the time and schedules and all that. We are in a position right now that we may or may not continue the service based upon what we gave them before, and we're not involved in trying to grasp some of their business by going through the city. It hurts their people to get to these other outlying malls and even to a hospital over here in Steubenville area.
Okay.
So it's an issue for them to resolve, and it's pending right now as to how it will materialize down the road. But our service is being provided to get people around, expanded. It's working out great with regard to Weirton. The Wheeling, West Virginia service down there. So it's a benefit to the community overall.
Tell Tim to keep up the good work. Thanks for the report.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Jeff Kniff. Is it a Jeff Kniff here? Okay, he was on the list.
But I think that gentleman.
Oh, so you have something to say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come forward. State your name and address.
Tony Morelli, 2828 Fernwood Road. And hi, everyone. I come unprepared, but I do need to clear the air. I came here, first of all, to congratulate all the candidates, those who won and those who lost. It takes a lot to put your name in the ring, your name in the hat, and put your name out there, and it's not easy. So I congratulate everybody. I also come as a new county commissioner, reaching out to your new administration, your council. I don't know what the problem is, but there seems to be a lack of communication with Wintersville and the county. And it could be the county's fault. It could be nobody's fault. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it seems that way. So I'm just saying I want to work with the village of Wintersville. I ran because I wanted to try to get some things accomplished in our county, and we can do that a lot better. I think we all have those goals, and it's easier to achieve them if we work together. So that's what I had planned on talking about. And I'm just going to add, as far as the treatment center, and I'm not going to debate. I heard about 3 times tonight that nobody contacted anyone here. I called here I have the times in my clock or in my phone. That's one thing nice about these smartphones. I don't even want to, no one called me back. And I called here right after I hung up from Landmark the very first time. And they called, and their complaint was, or their statement was, they've called here a couple times, and no one got back to them. So I don't want this council to think I did an end around and tried to, because quite frankly, I don't have the power, nor did I go reach out to this company Landmark and say, we have a hospital here in Wintersville, Ohio. It'd be great for a treatment center. They contacted me. Their in-house counsel contacted me. And quite frankly, when I announced it the next day in the commissioners meeting, I thought, well, I guess maybe I'll get somebody's attention then. And I don't mean that in a smart way. It's just, you know, you leave a couple voicemails, you have other people from that company saying they left voicemails, and you can contact them if you want to contact them. So, so I didn't try to go around the council. I don't want to stand here. I'll be happy to talk about how important it is, in my opinion, to get an inpatient treatment center here in our county. You know, I spent 2019 campaigning, and I said I was going to try to do that. So I'm surprised that there's a lot of surprise. I said in the very beginning, because I would say the feedback from the community has been 10-1 in favor that it's needed. Now, there's some questions about that location. I get that, but I had nothing to do with that. Again, I was contacted. So the last thing, Mr. Mayor said there's always a public forum when a new business comes to town. So was there one for Butch's?
Who is Butch?
It's a new business. It's in Wintersville.
Yeah, I understand that,
Yeah.
but are they in mental health?
Did you say all mental health or all businesses?
No, I didn't say all businesses.
Okay.
I said when you have this kind of unique type business going to be buttoned adjacent to a residential area or school or church, we have public forum.
Okay.
And if
I didn't take it that way.
well,
So
that's what we
I
do.
wouldn't
And
question it.
as far as contact, somebody called. You called out here when you say contact. You asked for a letter of ordinance. You say the company contacted you. Why didn't you direct them to our administrator or myself?
I just
instead
said
of
there's
taking
two
that?
phone calls I made here and left voicemails. It was also on Thanksgiving weekend. Listen, I'm not going to argue. I did. So I did, and then
You left voicemails?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
check those because
Yeah.
we do record.
I got it.
Okay.
I can give you dates.
Because I did
and
talk to my
times.
secretary.
Yeah.
She haven't gotten any voicemails from anybody. We have not heard one thing from this company. Not one phone call from
I
them.
think if you call and talk to them,
Well, they could call and approach us.
They would say they've got a female's name that they've called and left a voicemail to, who was supposed to get back to them. So I don't know who works here. I really don't.
I do.
I'm not here to try to tell you how to run your office.
I'm glad.
not.
I'm glad.
I respect
Yeah.
what you're doing and what you have done for our community, Robbie, Mr. Martin.
Yeah.
I truly do.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I appreciate you coming, but we just want to get that air clear with the residents because they think we set on something that we did not give the information to them. That's not the truth.
Yeah.
So that's why we want to get it cleared up.
Yeah, and I want it clear too, because I don't want them to think I was trying to sneak something in
Well.
on them. It was actually, I stated many times the day after the interview that I'd like to take the credit for it, but I really didn't have that much to do. They contacted me.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, one quick thing. Listen, we are very open to be working with the county. There's no doubt about it. One of the things I would probably suggest moving forward is a little bit of our participation down, maybe at attendance at your meetings as well. I know you
Love to
showed up
have
to
you.
ours, a couple times here now, Mr. Morelli. I can tell you, I have never been down there. So,
Love to have you.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yep. So maybe that's something we look forward to just get caught up.
Perfect.
We were absolutely open for business here,
All right.
and we look we can work with you.
Yeah. And
You're
we-
difficult to work with.
Yeah. If anybody ought to know, I worked with him for 25 years.
Yeah, but we can definitely.
But you know
work
what?
with you guys. Yeah.
This is how it should be. We should be able to communicate to people,
I agree.
each other, work with each other. So we're going to leave that for another day. And
Yeah.
and my number is published, folks. My cell phone, I don't hide from it.
Yeah.
Call me if you have any questions.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks.
In hindsight, I should have called one of the council people. I would have. I know all of you guys, so no offense meant on that part of it.
Oh no, we're working with you, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a Merry Christmas.
True. Reading other ordinances. Oh, come, please. State your name and address.
Hello. Hi, my name's Linda Lee Lewis. I live in 208 Stardust Drive, Wintersville, Ohio. I had no intentions of talking to this matter tonight, but I'm the one myself, I don't know, people read the Herald Star. I saw the article with the commissioner talking about this facility. I'm a registered nurse. Well, I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I'm a registered nurse of over 45 and a half years. I did put something on our social media that's here in Wintersville. I'm not against, there is a great need for mental health, drug and alcohol addiction. My comment was only stating that I don't believe the Jefferson County Christian School knew anything about it. I live here. I've lived here a long time. I ran for mayor. I was on village council here. I never knew about this until I read it in the Herald Star. It's a big surprise. My only concern is safety. Safety for patients, safety for the Jefferson County Christian Schools, the dance studio. It got blown out of proportion, so I took this information off that site because I started it. I did bring up something about Fox Run Chapel, the facility that's down in St. Clairsville. When it was started, now I don't know how it is now because I don't go there. I haven't visited. It's a mental health issue for younger kids, like elementary. Well, maybe it's elementary, teenagers and that. It was not started near a subdivision. It wasn't near a school district. Mm-hmm. I'm all for business. I'm all for business. You have to spend money to make money, and I think the village wants to do that. Mm-hmm. But safety, you all have to be here for safety, right?
Yes.
Whether you have children or not, we have schools. We have schools everywhere. No one's denying that we don't need that.
That's right.
It's safety. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks for speaking.
Thank you.
Come, state your name, address.
Anita Petrella, 228 Technology Way. The Jefferson Belmont Regional Solid Waste Authority is who I'm representing tonight. I don't know if council has heard from their citizens or not, but we're getting calls every day for recycle. Our bins have been removed from Kroger's in Wintersville, which I'm sure you're all aware of, and our phone rings all day long from the citizens of Wintersville that they no longer have an access point for recycle. So I come tonight asking council if they could give us a little bit of help or offer a place. We've looked at several lots from Derek Ferguson, Paul Carpolotti, Joe Karabi, Joe Lucchino. I have two realtors looking for spots that we're willing to even buy a place, asphalt it, put cameras in because our contamination rate is so high. But several people from the city have asked that maybe you could have a spot here at the Village Building down against the wall or the hillside where we could put our recycle bins and they could come and drop off their recycle and then naturally we pick them up. It depends on the need. It could be 6 days a week. It could be 2. It could be 3. If the village isn't willing to do that, I've had a suggestion that across from 427 Customs out there where you park your trucks, there's a piece of land right at the very top there that a lady told me yesterday. She didn't know why we didn't have bins there, said that the city had access. When Wintersville told us to take our bins, we went to J.C. Penney's and in front of Dick's. And we have a pretty big site at both of those places, and I'm trying to get one. I even talked to Gary Smith out here by the drive-in. We were trying to put something. So we have several options going on, but nobody's committed. And now with the holiday season and Amazon boxes everywhere. Wintersville residents say they're not driving to Steubenville to Penny's, and why can't Wintersville have an access?
What was the issue with the Kroger lot that
They
all of a
remodeled
sudden-
their store.
Correct.
And when the higher-ups came for the remodel or what, they did not want recycle bins there, the clothing bins nor ours. And we
Right.
service them 6 days a week. We
Yeah.
even had a guy start on Sundays, so they didn't have stuff on the ground, which of course is
And-
the
and
residents'
that was maybe the issue
fault,
with them
too. And so
because
I
of
don't
the
know.
extra debris?
They just said, we just don't want
I
you here
understand.
anymore. We've
Yeah.
done our part for Wintersville. Let some other business pick you up.
Let me ask you a question, Ms. Petrella.
Sir?
Did you talk to Mr. Terramana on that
Yes,
lot
sir.
out there, 160 acres? I mean, that's a sit and field there. Maybe if you say you want to make some investment in that, what about maybe take a corner of that field, either upper part or lower part, and talk to Mr. Terramana, because it sits there empty anyway. So maybe he might
Yeah.
let you utilize that.
We have been talking to every
You talk to him?
person, not unless Lakino did. I did not myself.
Okay, reach out to
All right.
them and ask them, could you utilize part, that's 160 acres out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they let you get in there, we could probably, the village probably could put a temporary blacktop road in there so that you could travel in, travel out, so they can empty those. But that'd be a good idea, because it's out of the way.
And where's that at exactly?
Right there on 43, that 100, sign says 160 acres just by
Okay.
Napa.
See a lot of people, yeah, I know where a lot of people, they actually want it back toward Main Street. To be honest with you, they even offered us the lot where, those sheds are. But I don't think people that want to drive down Main Street or that live behind there would be really receptive to all that. So we've tried to stay away from that. But the people want it there. They don't want to go clear out. We have some property out
What about State
43.
Park Motor? There's nobody there no more.
Yes.
Yeah, there's somebody there. Oil and
Somebody
gas
there
is
now?
there, yes, sir.
Oh, they did?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excuse me, I didn't know that, but
That's all right, yeah.
it's just an idea, some of the
Yeah.
places that.
We've looked, I have 2 realtors, local realtors, that have looked at almost every spot. So I don't know if council would be agreeable to put some and give it a 3-month trial here down at the Village Building, because they want it, but I don't want it out on Main Street, or I don't think the city does, or the village wants it right on Main Street, but like you're down in a little bit, and we could be against a hillside or something.
That's something they might take a look at, but that's a lot of traffic, the police coming in and out, there, and then you got people coming paying water bills in and out. So we don't want to cause a wreck or have any kind of traffic jam, because that's a single lane road going up through there. Not to trying to defy you having a place down here, but we gotta look at all the safety factors on that. And that'll probably be something your son will have to look at in
How about
30 days.
the spot above where you keep your trucks? There's an open field there.
No, that's where we put our roll-off boxes for our spring cleanup, and that's the whole month of June. So
Okay.
that's,
Okay. Well, I can at least tell these residents when they call me that I did come to council and ask for your assistance so that you're not
What about
blindsided.
Neongart's empty place?
Yeah, we had talked to Neo's and 427
What-
Customs.
The folks that you're talking to, are they, you're having conversations with?
Well,
are
they're
they not-
$650,000. They want us to buy 5 acres.
I got
We
it.
don't need that kind of space. and
No,
we don't.
they're not even just letting, you're not just having conversations with them, you're talking about purchasing the property, not about maybe, can we leave these here for a few months?
Yes, and I'm hoping that we have asked, could we just do it over the holiday
Yeah,
season?
and what's you're having a lot of conversations, what are they saying?
Yeah, well, they have it up for rent, 427 Customs.
Yeah.
They have it up for rent. We really don't want to put someone in there.
Okay.
Paul said we might do it just for the holiday till
Yeah.
the 30th of December. He's supposed to get back to me, but like Gary Smith was a no. He doesn't want, he's got a lot of land out there by the
Yeah.
drive-in theater that we thought if we could have just a little space.
Yeah,
We're interested in just putting temporary, we're interested in talking, I have a board too, so
Sure.
to purchase, I would have to take that to the board as a bigger item. But we're looking at both things, even not leasing, they said they would not lease. Because if they
Gary
improve
Smith
the
told you no,
property.
too?
Pardon
Gary
me?
Smith told you no?
No, yeah. So to lease the property, my board said no, because they want to improve it where we're sitting.
yeah.
So I just wanted to bring it so council isn't blindsided, because we get a good 6 calls every day from your residents.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
I'm sorry that Kroger's feel the way they feel. I don't know what their reasons, other than they don't want it there, so.
Right, we were at Respecs, and Anytime Fitness moved in, and they asked us to leave. So we've been in a lot of places.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Thank
is
you.
Ferguson's not, since, don't they own that building? I
Who?
mean, Ferguson's, where their
Yeah.
House of Furniture is, what about off to the side down below?
The residents don't want to go down that road down into like where Infinity Electronics are, because the road is bouncy.
Right, but I'm saying even at the corner of the building where they're not utilizing all that space there, I mean, just even at the bottom of the parking lot.
Yeah, he's been very cooperative with us, Derek has, but he has nowhere over there except down under where Infinity is.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, reading the ordinances, please.
We have 4 ordinances. I know there's only 2 on the agenda, but there's 2 more that were added. 2021-27 is an ordinance to approve temporary appropriations for fiscal year 2022. Do we need 3 reads on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We need suspend the rules and have 3 reads tonight on that.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Second read ordinance number 2021-27 is an ordinance to approve temporary appropriations for fiscal year 2022. Third read ordinance number 2021-27 is an ordinance to approve temporary appropriations for fiscal year 2022.
Second.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Okay, ordinance number 2021-28 is an ordinance providing pay raises for village employees effective on the first pay of 2022. So I'm certain we'll need to suspend the rules and have second and third read tonight.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Second read ordinance number 2021-28, an ordinance providing for pay raises for village employees effective on the first day of 2022. Third read ordinance number 2021-28, an ordinance providing for pay raises for village employees effective on the first day of 2022.
Motion to approve ordinance 2021-28.
Second.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
All right. Won't let you find out better on these vehicles. Do we need?
I want to,
Get cracking on these, okay. All right, these are 2 ordinances to sell some vehicles under the Ohio Revised Code. If we think they're valued over $1,000, we have to have an ordinance to approve that. So we'll need a second and third read tonight, because I think Walt wants to get rid of them. First one is 2021-29 is an ordinance declaring that a 2008 Ford F-150 pickup truck with the VIN number listed is no longer needed for any municipal purpose, and authorizing the sale of said vehicle as is to the highest and best bidder in accordance with 721.15 of the Ohio Revised Code. That's a first read.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Second read ordinance number 2021-29 is an ordinance declaring that a 2008 Ford F-150 pickup truck with the VIN number listed is no longer needed for any municipal purpose, and authorizing the sale of said vehicle as is to the highest and best bidder in accordance with 721.15 of the Ohio Revised Code. Third read ordinance number 2021-29 is an ordinance declaring that a 2008 Ford F-150 pickup truck, VIN number listed, is no longer needed for any municipal purpose, and authorizing the sale of said vehicle as is to the highest and best bidder in accordance with section 721.15 of the Revised Code.
Motion to approve ordinance 2021-29.
Second.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Ordinance number 2021-30 is an ordinance declaring that a Ford 2008 F-350 with utility bed VIN number listed is no longer needed for any municipal purpose, and authorizing the sale of said vehicle as is to the highest and best bidder in accordance with 721.15 of the Revised Code. I think they need a second and third read, so.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Second read, ordinance number 2021-30 is an ordinance declaring that a 2008 Ford F-350 with utility bed VIN number listed is no longer needed for any municipal purpose, and authorizing the sale in accordance with 721.15 of the Revised Code. Third read, ordinance number 2021-30, an ordinance declaring that a 2008 Ford F-350 with utility bed VIN number listed is no longer needed for any municipal purpose, selling it as is to the highest and best bidder in accordance with 721.15 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Motion to approve ordinance 2021-30.
Second.
Mr. Takencult.
Yay.
Mr. Spence.
Yay.
Dr. Ross.
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron.
Yay.
Mr. Mattern.
Yay.
Mr. Merriman.
Yeah.
Well, are all those vehicles in bad condition to the point, because we discussed the code enforcement guy getting a new car?
No, those are, the 350 is, we just replaced it with a new one out
Right.
front of the building. It has holes through the floor, and it's rusted. They're just
Okay,
pretty well shot.
just thought I'd throw it out
Yes.
there before we
Yeah.
got a new car.
Yeah, no, it's worse than what he's driving now.
All right,
Okay. Reports and announcements. A mayor's court report to the city, $3,478. To the state, $517.50. Other, $19.50. And total revenues, $4,015. Okay, police report. For the month of December 2nd, complaints, 120, incoming calls, 161, accidents, 13, cases, 16, alarms, 12, juvenile cases, 9, traffic arrests, 26, criminal arrests, 4, 2 assaulted, 2 disorderly conducts, parking violation, 0, vehicles impound, 1, out-of-town assist, 11, stolen bikes, 0, dog bites, 0, missing persons, 0, auxiliary, 32, canine use, 0, respectfully submitted, Chief Art Filer. Okay, monies collected from old fines, November 21 to 11/1 to a total of $20. And monies collected from old fines January through October 21st. Total of, for the year, will be $119,679. Tom Straka, permits and license, 2 licensed for $150, 4 permits for $250, total of $400. Okay, magistrate report. That will be our administrator.
Little report this evening. The Christmas sanitation schedule will be changed. The men will pick up both Thursday and Friday routes on Thursday, December 23rd. The offices will be closed December 23rd at noon for our Christmas luncheon, and all day Friday, December 24th. The New Year's sanitation schedule will be similar, the same. Pickup for both Thursday and Friday routes will be on Thursday, December 30th. The offices will close December 30th at 2 p.m. and all day Friday. As per usual, I'd like to request $500 for the employee luncheon on December 23rd.
And what about the gift card? You want to include that?
That's second.
Okay. Okay, motion to,
I'll put forth the motion to have $500 for that.
okay,
Second.
roll call.
Mr. Takencult.
Yay.
Mr. Spence.
Yay.
Dr. Ross.
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron.
Yay.
Mr. Mattern.
Yay.
Mr. Merriman.
Yeah.
Then on a separate related item, every year we've also request to give $25 gift cards to all the employees.
Motion.
I'll put forth that motion for the gift cards. Second.
Mr. Takencult.
Yay.
Mr. Spence.
Yay.
Dr. Ross.
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron.
Yay.
Mr. Mattern.
Yay.
Mr. Merriman.
Yeah.
A couple items not on there. I know we've been a little bit behind to the residents on the leaf pickup. We've had some health issues with several employees and with the garbage routes. They were trying to get a little bit done today. It's going to possibly snow Monday. They've been also getting the plows and boxes on, so we may try one more time here before the weather gets bad. It's just lack of manpower right now to get everything done. One other item, Mr. Mattern, do I need to talk about this now? I missed it for the ordinances. These
Yeah.
rates need to be approved.
Yeah. go ahead and,
Base rates need
yeah,
to be
coming out of the
approved.
finance committee, they made some base rate adjustments that would be required.
For water and sewer, you mean?
Yeah,
For everybody.
yeah.
Right.
It'll have to be,
No ordinance.
yeah, but at least we want to get it tonight, yeah, amended,
Okay,
so
why
we
don't-
can have it for the
Employee
pays
wages,
and
not
everything.
Wait,
Employee wages, not warrants.
Oh, wait a minute, I thought we just passed an employee or employee.
For pay raises, but this is in
The
conjunction
base
with
rates.
it.
Yeah, this is for like base rates. They're in finance, no, this is Merriman's committee. But the base rates were increased for,
For various positions.
yeah, for new hires coming on in.
Okay, well, so you're gonna need an ordinance in January for that, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so, okay.
But we want to get it on the books tonight.
Well, I see
just
Walt's got some red
to
lines
pass
there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Represent what that is?
Well, it's gonna be a little added.
Okay, all right, well, here, I'm gonna give you that.
Okay.
Why don't we make a motion to have an ordinance for the next meeting, and I will get that to the next meeting for the base rates, and you'll email me that? Or
Yes.
we can just include that as an attachment?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just do
I
an
bet you we
ordinance.
have it ready on the 20th for you, when you come in town, that you could have the whole thing.
Well, what I'll do, what we normally do is on these
Yep.
is, if there's a change in the base rate, because we will pass an ordinance, and we'll make that an exhibit attachment A.
Right.
Walt will get that ready. I
Yep.
don't need that on the 20th.
Okay.
But if Walt has that at our first meeting on the
Definitely.
6th of January, I think.
Probably right.
5th or 6th of January, we will have an ordinance ready to go, and then we'll just attach that
Okay.
to the thing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so, but you want to have a vote tonight, well, we don't really need
No,
a
we
vote
don't
tonight.
need to,
We'll just
because it
have
doesn't
we'll just have
affect-
an ordinance ready to go on the 6th in the
we don't
hopper
need it now.
with that attachment, and we'll go from there. So you don't need to do anything, council doesn't need to do anything tonight, they're voting on the first meeting, right?
Yeah.
We already passed the raises.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the raises are passed, you're talking about base
Okay,
rates.
basis.
We're good.
Yeah, okay, so we'll have that ready to go on the 6th, I'll get that, it'll probably be ordinance
Okay.
2022-1.
Okay, perfect.
And you'll just get the attachment ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Walt, how about,
Yes.
we talked about, the bid for the new, pest exterminator?
Yes, I have the letter ready to go out next week authorizing the switch.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
And then, back in October, we authorized, I believe it was $5,000 for the Christmas parade. The mayor brought it up and council approved it. Apparently it wasn't used for anything.
Well, I'm sure some of it was used, but if it wasn't used, just leave it in there for next year.
What was it used for? Because,
I wasn't, ask your parade director, she's not here tonight, so get with her. And she'll let you know.
okay, because I wanted to see if we can't use that money instead of getting the additional $500 for the luncheon, or maybe even using that money to up the gift cards for employees since they've been working short this whole year and having to deal with COVID. Because since that money's already earmarked for Christmas, there's no sense in losing it.
You're not losing it, but I mean, that's totally, have to redirect the money, but I mean,
It could probably come out of that fund or another one.
Yeah.
Denise could, it's all general fund, so.
I'm, if what I'm hearing you saying is they didn't use the $5,000.
Not that I know of. I don't know what it was.
Okay, and remember, we should just be paying bills.
Right, but it was already earmarked for Christmas stuff.
Right, okay.
Right.
So whatever, I assume they're gonna return that to us, maybe?
is that?
I don't know.
Oh, it never left, so we haven't given it to them. Okay, so yeah.
No, the money was just earmarked for us, what he's gonna do
In the
this
budget
year.
you're talking about.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, I think you could make a motion to, if you want, and I would do it this way, a motion for whatever is excess to go to
The
whatever-
luncheon and
yeah,
gift
whatever,
cards.
gift cards or the employee party or whatever you want to do.
I'll put forth a motion for any additional monies in excess so they can get
Any money that was left over
left
from that,
over
right.
to probably get a $100 gift card.
Or up to, yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right, depending on what's left.
Is that, I don't know if that's,
That's $100 gift card per person.
We've been, everybody in the village has been
Giving
working.
everybody a raise, Randy.
Yeah, you just,
We don't need to discuss this.
I
We need to
understand it,
discuss
but it was
this
already
downstairs.
earmarked for Christmas, so
We
let's
need to
use it.
discuss this downstairs.
we'll keep it as it is, and if the finance feel that needs to be done later, then we'll do it. Everything right now will stand as it is. Okay, so next thing, what's the next thing? Old business. Before we start old business, I gotta something on old business. I want to recognize a couple people sitting out in the audience tonight that did a very commendable thing for a lady that didn't have the money to do it for herself because she lost her husband here not too long ago. And she was getting people speaking about her property was not up to snuff. So I had a couple here, Mr. and Mrs. Lamanti, Michael Lamanti, and his wife Dreama. He stepped up to the plate. He went over and took his Bobcat, went over and leveled her property off, cut the grass, and it looks like a new place over there now. That's what you call people helping people in need. And I appreciate that, Mr. and Mrs. Lamanti. Sit back there. Can you stand there? Okay. You know, and that's what I call good citizens. They see something. I had mentioned to them about that because we had somebody say something in the meeting about the property. So I was speaking to Mr. and Mrs. Lamanti and say, listen, I got a lady over there. She lost her husband. She can't keep up with the property. So can you come over and take a look at it and let me know what you're going to charge? I'll pay for it myself. And so they went over and took a look at it. Then at the end of the conversation, Mr. Lamanti says, I'll take my Bobcat and I'll bring my lawnmower over. Him and his wife, whenever they took care of it. And I really just want to give you thanks for that. And I wish I could get more people like you in the community. Thank you so much. Okay. Old business.
You have to call
Old
my name.
business.
Yeah, you go around to all the different cabinet members.
Ms. Merriman.
We got any finished business?
New business.
New business.
Any old business first? Any old business?
No, there's
No.
nothing on the list.
Okay, new business. Mr. Merriman?
Yes, I would like to thank everybody that come out to the Christmas parade, especially Randy, Gail, Tom and Tammy Straka, and everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Okay, Mr. Mattern?
Got a couple quick things. Ordinance meeting, we're going to have Monday, December 20th at 6 p.m. That's why I brought that date up, Walt. So in case you have it ready, we could at least review it and get
It'll
that
be ready.
along. That baseline, base rate attachment. The Christmas light contest, we having a Christmas light contest this year?
I had that marked on my paper. here.
Okay, you can deal with it. On unfinished business, could we put down there the terrace drainage for springtime to be reviewed on that?
We'll have
Could we
to
please?
set up a meeting with Brandon.
And reason. Did we get any update from the AEP line that's hanging from the tree out there by Janamores? Did they ever get that fixed?
I think that's
It's up to us to fix it. They gave me the height. I just have to call one of the local companies and have them attach it at the correct height.
Do we have a ETA on that,
Nah,
or
I do
just
not.
nothing yet? The other thing I wanted to touch on real quick is Chuck Skinner is retiring for sure on that.
Well, it's,
Don't know yet.
nah,
We've had a lot
that's
of
the talk.
Yeah. Listen, all hats off. Merry Christmas to the employees that are out there. It's been a very challenging year and a half, 2 years for all of our employees, whether you drive a truck or driving a police car, or protect our services and residents here. It's been a rough couple of years, so just want to put a shout out for that. Also putting forth on top of the Lamantis there, another guy putting forth a good bit of efforts, Mr. Jerry Boyd with Wintersville Good Neighbors. So if you ever get a shot to do a little research on Wintersville Good Neighbors, he does an outstanding job. And another outstanding job, just to touch upon what Mr. Lockhart said earlier, that 911 range, that 7 Ranges Fire District, you get, being a part of that, you get to hear the challenges that other communities face that we don't necessarily face ourselves anymore because of the 7 Ranges group. They do an outstanding job protecting the community, and they're also providing a great service with this training center, this Gary Fellows Training Center they got over there for certification. They used to have to drive all the way to the other side of the state out towards Dayton. And now we're able to keep the local area first responders trained with some real life scenarios out there. It's just outstanding. And we got to get Mr. Harrington up here one time to give us a complete update when he's ready for this. But it's been outstanding. Other than that, Merry Christmas.
Mrs. Gill?
First of all, I want to thank Bob Merriman and his team for the organization and assembly of the Wintersville Christmas Parade. I was ecstatic to see the number of people on the streets watching the parade, considering the weather. It was very, very, very bitter cold, but there was more people, I think, than I've ever seen before. So I want to thank you to that. I want to wish the best to Brad and Robbie in their futures. I thank you for all that you have done and all that you have endeavored to do for our community. It has definitely been an adventure working with you both.
Thank you.
Good luck to the incoming council member and mayor. And does anybody have a contact for the Good Neighbors for Jerry Boyd? Because I would really like to reach out to him about a couple things. I've heard it's
I
a
know
great
he lives on
organization.
Gums Lane, and you know,
Okay.
I'm on that committee.
Okay,
Well,
I'd like to
there
speak
it
with
is.
you after the meeting then. Thank you. Okay, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody.
Denise? anything?
Nothing, sir.
Chris?
Nothing.
Walt?
Yeah, I'd like to recognize Bob Merriman's efforts with the parade. It's a fantastic job. I'd like to recognize Robbie Barton's 20 years of selfless service to the village of Wintersville. Thank you for your service, Mr. Mayor. Everybody have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you. Randy?
Again, just echoing the sentiments of the Christmas parade. It was enjoyable. Everybody came out. I was happy to see so many people out there. And Bob did a good job putting it together. Hate to say goodbye to the mayor, Mr. Martin, and Brad Degenkolb. Learned a lot being here with you guys. I'm looking forward to working with the new people in the future. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and stay safe.
Thank you. Mr. Pratt?
Things are coming to a close, and I just appreciate everybody that sits up here. Best elected Mayor Martin, and I want to thank former Mayor Gale for all the support that he's given me. I did write just a few notes, but there's two words out of tonight that I just want to say is to move forward is communication and community. The community in this room, the support that has turned out today is phenomenal. And that's what I love about living here is because of we come out and we talk about what we want, what we don't want, and what's right and what's wrong. But you know, you have to see both ways on a particular business coming in, and I think we all see that. So keep doing that, community and communication. That's what I want to see moving forward from everybody. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Okay, after Brett had that wonderful speech, I'm gonna make a presentation to Brad for his due diligence and his good service to the village. Brad's been around maybe once or twice.
Yes, twice.
And in those two times that he's been here, he's always been on top of things. Brad's a very intelligent individual. I hate to see him leave because he brings a lot of wealth to the council with his knowledge of what he works with every day. He cares about the people, and I think the council that he sits with cares about him, you know, along with the mayor, myself, and the past mayor, Bob Gill. So with this presentation, donated by Trophy Shop, Wintersville Trophy Shop, Bob Merriman, I'm going to read this, Brad, and I'm going to make a presentation to you. It says, present to Brad Degenkolb. This award is presented in the appreciation of your years of untiring service as a councilman of the village of Wintersville. Your loyalty and friendship will always be remembered. Village of Wintersville Mayor Robert Martin Sr.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Mr. Martin, can you come down in front, please? I'm not a speaker like he is. Here's for over 20 years of service and dedication to the village of Wintersville as mayor and councilman.
Thank you, sir. Any transfers?
No, sir.
Okay. Payment of the bills. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Dakenkop?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Russ?
Yay.
Mrs. Tamron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah. Okay, I have a little speech prepared tonight. I want to get all the other business out of the way. We've been here for a long time. We've never been in a meeting for over an hour in many years. But, we had a lot of things on the table tonight. I just want to thank everybody that showed up tonight, coming out, to be here at my last meeting, all my supporters, my family, and especially my wife. She's been through 20 years of this, and I'm sure she would go through another 20, but that's not the case, and it wouldn't be the case if I won or lost, not another 20 years. But anyway, Wintersville residents, first, I want to thank you for giving me the privilege and the honor to humbly serve you for the past 20 years. It's been a pleasure being a councilman and a mayor for Wintersville. Serving the public isn't always easy, but it's rewarding. Pleasing both parties doesn't always work out. But the most important thing is being fair and honest. I remember when I got on council 20 years ago. I was like a church mouse, quiet as I could be until I learned the process, but now you can see that changed. One of my first tasks I wanted to do was a community days, but council didn't want to support it because there was no money. So I asked council if I raised the money, would they be willing to support it? They all laughed and said, yes, you can do that. So the next day, I got busy. Time wasn't on my side. Within 2 months and 8 days, I raised over $17,000 and gave the children of Wintersville a community days, first community days. Recreation was very important to me, so I wanted to start an annual Halloween party for the kids. So with the help of an increased school system, they let us use the kitchen and the gym every year for the last 20 years. We have a successful Halloween party for the kids and their parents. That was some of the fun times. On some serious notes, I just want to read off some of the things that was accomplished under my direction and when I was on council and the mayor. It says new traffic signals on Main Street, that was over $700,000. Garden Drive, metal improvements, $1.5 million. Street paving, $3.1 million. New public works equipment, $1.9 million. 2 new restrooms on the playgrounds, that was $143,000. With some donations from the commissioners. Knowles Water Line and Paving, that was $1.8 million. Some of the projects in Gumps Lane Water Line and Paving, that was another $500,000. Paint, rehabilitate our water tank, $362,000. Sewer plant upgrades and rehabilitation, that's $3.7 million. Lift stations, upgrade, rehabilitation, $3.4 million. Collections and maintenance, $4.8 million. That's a total of $22 million, $246,000. That came through this guy sitting right here, grants. I mean, that's kind of money, and that's the kind of people we had on council and our past mayor. But the main thing is having a guy like Walt on your team, you feel like when you go in that field, you feel like you have done something special because his best trait is finding us, I call it free money. Okay, so with that, I want to read a few other things here and close it out. So Wintersville, you're getting some new leadership, and I'm sure they will do the best to serve you. Good luck to the old and the new. And I have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And on a side note, I really want to thank, like I said, Walt again for what he's done for us. Our personnel, what have you done for the village? Because without you guys, we would have been difficult. And I just want to make sure that they get their recognition. The entire workforce, you guys are what keep the village going each and every day. And that goes for our police, which are second to none. Yeah, sometimes, we don't always come together on agreement, but one thing I can say, they put their life on the line each and every day. And I thank the chief for moving this department forward, because he gave them the opportunity to go get educated with new things that's come to this village. And with that, that ensures the people of Wintersville that you can go to sleep at night and know these guys are on their job protecting you. And again, I don't want to say goodbye because I'm not moving out of the village, but I'm just moving out of this seat. We got another young man who's not here tonight, Mr. Petrella. Good luck to him. Good luck to the new councilman. I think he's back there somewhere. Carmen Stefano back there. And so with that, I'm going to call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
That was good. Oh, wait a minute. We got one more person out in the audience.
Dr. Lewis from Stardust Drive. I'd like to take this opportunity to let people know that what Robbie has done for the past 20 years in this village. Many times, a lot of things that people don't know is that he's reached in his pocket, his own pocket, to help people in need in this village. He has given everybody that he's come in contact with his own personal cell phone number and encouraged them to call him if there was a need. And if they would call him, and whatever Robbie would tell them, you could take that to the bank. It would be done. And we're sorely going to miss you, and you've done a great job. Now we would like, as you pursue all the rest of your new endeavors and spend time with your grandchildren and your children, you will be sorely missed. And with that, I'd like to say
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's a motion on the floor for adjournment. He made this, who's second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Dakenthal?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Mr. Mattery?
Yay.
Mr. Mary?
Yes.